everybody and welcome back to my channel. So lately I have been trying out a lot of different stuff with my art, and I've actually realized it's been a while since I did one of my pretty lady artworks. So I actually decided that I really wanted to do one of those today. So for the concept of this artwork, I had a vision of basically a young lady laying back in a little, pile of pink roses. And then as I was thinking more about it, I realized that I would have actually preferred to have her laying back in some water, and there's actually roses floating around her. Now for the placement of the roses, I actually wanted more of them up the top, so that a lot of them up the top kind of made it look a bit like a pillow, but not overly so, and then have a little bit less of them down the bottom. Now the inking for this artwork actually took me a very, very long time. I actually sketched the artwork pretty small, and then I scanned it into my computer and fixed it up a little bit here and there, and also copied and pasted more roses around because I wasn't going to sketch them all individually. That would have taken so much longer. And yeah, then I printed it out onto some A4 paper and then used my Copic multi-liners to transfer the liner onto some mixed media paper. Now I decided I wanted to use mixed media paper because I had planned to possibly do some pencil on the top of this Copic artwork. Now I'm planning to actually do a darker skin tone here because, to be honest, I don't do that enough, and I really should because it's super fun to draw. But I wanted to have a little bit of room for error because, well, I'm very proficient in drawing lighter skin tones, but darker skin tones, just because I don't do it as often, and I really should. So I just wanted to make sure that if I did mess it up a little bit, I would be able to go over the top with pencils and fix it up, and that's actually what I did. Now, as you can see, I have finally finished inking the artwork, and that took me so long. But to be honest, I'm actually really, really grateful that I did that because, I don't know, all these little flowers everywhere, the details look so nice. And yeah, the colours that I actually used for these roses were RV21 light pink for the mid-tony kind of colour. And then I used RV10 pale pink for the highlights, and for a little bit of shadows here and there which I added in later, I used RV14 begonia pink. Now these three colours actually look pretty nice together, and they're all fairly close on the colour spectrum thingy, so they ended up looking pretty good. Now for the, parts between all the flowers where I wanted the water, I actually decided to use a bit of the sand colour just to allude to her skin under the water, and then I actually went all the way around with B05 Process Blue. Now this is one of the markers that I've had that has been dry for so long. However, I recently ordered some new inks and they have come in, so I really wanted to use Process Blue because I've missed it, and it's a great blue colour and I actually really like it. Now for the water in this artwork, I didn't want to just have one colour for the background, so I actually decided to do a little bit of a gradient, as you can see. And yeah, I'm so glad that I did that because it turned out really nicely. I believe I used Process Blue for the main part below, and then I actually went in after with some little lines of Prussian blue just to add some more shadows here and there, and then towards the top I used Robin's Egg Blue, and then the lightest colour I actually used Frost Blue, which is B00. That's another one of my colours that have recently run out that I bought more inks for. And I actually really like this sort of gradient effect in the water because, as you can see, there's a lot more roses up the top and less down the bottom, so that also adds to the effect that there's a bit of a gradient, and I don't know, just makes it look a little bit more dynamic and pretty. Now of course I didn't do it perfectly, how she's sort of under the, like laying in the water. It kind of looks a little bit like she's standing up in the water instead of laying back. Now I don't know, it's just kind of hard to do, I guess, but yeah, I'm definitely trying to get her to look like she's laying back. Now I started off on her skin tone, which was the most difficult part because I'm not well practiced in dark skin tones. However, I'm not going to get better unless I keep trying. So the colors that I went in first, I actually used a lot of rose red and some pink colors in her cheeks. And this is mainly a layer to put underneath the skin color. And then I also went in with the shadow layer with some purples, I believe mallow, and also blue violet, which is a darkish blue. And then after that I used some highlights, which I used my E33 sand color, and then after that I went over the whole thing with a bit of one of my new colors, which is not actually new, it's just I bought inks for that. And yeah, it was E77 maroon, and that's a really nice very dark earthy tone color. It's a bit desaturated and a slightly bit purple, so I actually thought it would be perfect for this artwork. And the main reason I chose a dark skin tone is because I thought that it would contrast really nicely with the light colors and the light pinks and the light blues, and that actually turned out really well and it looks really nice. Now as you can see, I'm just trying to fix up her blush and little highlights here and there in the artwork, and I'm actually using my Prismacolor Premier pencils for that. And yeah, that's probably why I used the mixed media card. After that I went into all the greeny parts of the flowers, you know, the bottom part of the flower where there's a bit of greenness, and I used YG17 grass green and also G17 forest green for that. Now for her little you know, top and her hair, I don't know, I was kind of confused as what colors to do, so I ended up choosing a sort of tealy aqua color for her top, and then I decided to go purple for her hair because there's a lot of pinks and there's a lot of blues in this artwork, and purple would have bridged the cap really nicely. And yeah, I didn't want to put anything yellow in the artwork because I also thought that there was a lot of blues and pinks, and those are kind of like the primary colors, so I didn't want to add yellow in because it would just be too rainbow. So purple actually turned out really nicely, and that aqua color is very close to blue, so yeah, they both look really nice and they complement the piece pretty well, I think. Afterwards, here and there, I just did some little touch-ups with my white gel pen to add some little shiny parts in the water, and I also used some darker blues in the water as well, just to add some little details here and there. And yeah, here is the final artwork, and I'm actually really happy with this artwork. I love the roses, I love the character, I love her skin and her hair. It all just looks really pretty and serene, I think. And yeah, that's actually why I decided to name this artwork Serenity. So yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and hit the little bell icon too so that you get notified whenever I upload, which is twice a week. So yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye everyone!